Hey guys, my name's Orthodox. Welcome back to another episode of Halidom Hotspot, your one-stop shop for all things Dragalia Lost. And my co-host, LERART, is here as well.
Hello.
Hello. And by popular demand, my co-host now is joining me as well, Glace.
Hiya!
Hey, Glace. And our special guest, which, by the way, very, very special guest, thank you for coming on, is Deven Mack.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Deven. Again, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Now, I put together a community poll over on the Discord server. So for those listening who have not joined the Discord, definitely do so. Link will be in the description below. So we have a few questions here. I'm going to go ahead and pull these up. The first question we have comes from John Mill. And he says, how hard was it to get the other Dragalia Lost VAs together for the voiced Dragalia lives?
That is a very good question. And starting out, for those of you who do not know my name, I'm the voice of Durant, the Mad Dog of Valkheim, the Hidden Hunter Joachim, and Volk, the Plague Bringer. And as far as the doing the Dragalia Life comics, that one, the tough thing for me was I started out wanting to do the ones that Durant was in, and those featured Yuden and Laranoa, but I didn't know who either of the actors were. So I was just looking around online trying to see if I could find them anywhere. Eventually, I found them both on Instagram. And in the case of Laranoa, she's not super active. She's very sporadic. So I didn't get a response from her for like a couple months. But gradually, and also she didn't have her at-home recording stuff all set up and good to go. So it took a bit of a while. But as time went on, she was able to get her stuff recorded. Started talking to Victor Hunter, the voice of Yuden. He recorded his stuff as well, and it's been really cool because I've just through doing this, I've been able to connect with so many of my castmates for the first time. Because in voice acting, very, very often you'll be in things with people and you will never ever meet them. So it was a little bit of a challenge, took a little bit of time, but was able to get it done, and I made some new friends along the way. So it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome. And thanks also for introducing, for those that do not know. I was so excited to get to the questions, actually. So, so thank you. That being said, though, of those three voice-acted characters that you do for Volk, Joachim, and Durant, who do you have the most fun voicing?
Oh, that is a tough one. Because I definitely had a lot of fun during my recording session with all of them. Because I did each one back to back. In the case of Durant, I'd say he was a lot of fun because I've never really played a character quite like that before. He's kind of the edgy boy who deep down kind of has that soft spot, especially for his wolves. And I usually play like the dorky science kid in things, or I'm like the big bad undead guy. So that was a really fun change of pace for me. But at the same time, it's always so much fun to be the bad guy. So
Yeah.
when I had those moments of, irremissible, I will kill you here and now. All of that stuff, I really savor that because you never get to be that in real life. And if you do, you go to jail. So it's fun when it's fictional. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And then King Mike also asked for characters of the three. Well, technically, Volk isn't playable yet. We really are hoping, honestly, if he does come. Lance is my favorite weapon type, so if he does come as a playable character, fingers crossed, that would be more voice lines. But
yeah,
of the two that are playable, so Durant and Joachim, which one is your favorite to play as?
I gotta say, I got really, really accustomed to Durant because he came out, I want to say, a month or two before Joachim. So he's just the one that I got really comfy with. Plus, he's got that very unique play style where he's just totally selfish with all of his skills, which is awesome and amazing. So once again, I think I got to give it to Durant on that side of things. Although I do enjoy playing as Joachim, he's obviously my favorite wind user. I really like the poisoning skill because I don't really use anybody else who has anything like that. So I like them both, but Durant's my first. You never forget your first.
Yeah, he's the most special. I actually have mine at 50, so I maxed mine out,
Alright.
as well as purchased his shared skill.
I'm very proud of you.
So, well, thank you. Quitte did it as well. Shout out to Gaming Quitte.
All right.
We had a theory craft to make Crom as strong as possible, and we decided that it actually turned out that Durant's shared skill, the SP cost is a little bit higher, so it takes a little bit longer to generate the skill if you use it as a shared skill. But we found that it is ready to go every single time Crom's Awakened Aether is also available. So it just turns him into like a mini nuke. You get the 40% strength, and then you immediately get the Aether off for big numbers. So
I will say, I'm doing better than I thought I would. Typically, when people talk about technical aspects of the game, I have no idea what they're saying. I did get about 80% of that. The thing with me is, I don't have and I don't understand how Crom works. I don't know any of his stuff, so that is very new to me.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just briefly on how Crom does work, is all of his kit is designed into building his skill 2. Okay. So everything he does, his skill 1, his standard attacks, they all build these gauges or counters.
All right.
And once that's maxed out, when you use your skill 2, it transforms from Aether to Awakened Aether, and it has the highest mods or damage potential of any skill in the game.
Oh, snap.
So when you stack on Durant's largest shared skilled selfish buff, then you can bring that to even higher height for damage.
Okay. Is he even better than like the likes of Xiao Jing's defense down skill?
Now, Xiao Xing's defense down skill, the interesting thing is there's actually a cap for that. So I believe the cap is around 60%. I want to say we might have gotten it to 80%. But of course, that being said, you kind of want to mix your strength buffs and your defense downs, right, as they're multiplicative. So if you put all your eggs in one basket or all in one stat, of course that would be additive, and so the value wouldn't be as high. And the bigger thing is if you're going for just a really big S2, then Konohana Sakuya, which is a skill damage dragon, is a better choice here. And that percentage of strength that you don't have from Konohana, because Konohana is only 20%, whereas Mars is 90%. That's for the strength. That smaller amount of strength allows for Durant's skill to be more impactful.
Oh, okay.
Think about it like scoops of ice cream, right? So if you already have 3 scoops of ice cream, 4 scoops of ice cream is still a lot, but it's more impactful if you had 1 scoop of ice cream and then you added another scoop to get to 2, right? Because now you just doubled the amount of total ice cream that you had.
I get you. I mean, I've never even gotten Konohana Sakuya. I've legitimately never gotten her.
Yeah, I think I have her.
Mars.
Now I'm just hungry for ice cream.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. It's a good way to look at it, right? Because it's your total stat pool.
It does help, though, for sure.
So, yeah, speaking of Konohana, do you have Konohana Sakuya, Devin?
I don't believe so.
We may see with the Draconic Essence a way to max and bind her. Or for the anniversary, even, because there was mention, which we'll get to in a little bit, where Okada was mentioning a huge overhaul and rebalance for dragons and all other elements not named Shadow. So we will have to see.
Sucks for me.
Although the good news is he didn't say that they would nerf Shadow. They would just simply bring up the other elements to Shadow's level. So big props to them, because that's definitely a lot more work than simply nerfing one element.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, Patia is still busted either way, so I'm good.
Yes, percentages are percentages, and that's the nicest part. I really don't see Patia being, bad anytime soon. I think she's probably one of, if not the best buffers in the game.
She's the best.
I think she only gets beaten out by like the likes of Tobias, and Tobias is wind specific.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's just off the top of my head, though.
And if the team runs Brother in Arms, she's better than Tobias.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I do have Konohana. Why have I not been using her?
Nice. Yeah.
Gonna work on
Just
that.
don't use her on Mega. Just don't use her on Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man is a unique character, to say the least.
I wish I had Mega Man.
Didn't Durant get added to like the same patch that Mega Man came out?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
the thing is, I didn't understand how befriending characters worked.
Oh no,
So,
that's common. Yeah, that's common.
I was like, oh no, Mega Man's gone. Oh no.
He's on your roster, and they're like, you didn't get friendship, so he's gonna have to go now. And you're like,
Yeah, they really gotta explain that better in future patches.
Yeah.
yeah. There was a
That'd be
mention.
Or they could go like the Sharina route where you just get them.
Mhm.
It's, at least with collab characters. I think that would be better if it was like more collab characters like that. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, you just
yeah.
get them.
I think logging in for the events should be sufficient to get a character. I think Sharina was done in a very, very good way. And it's possible that we could see a return for the Mega Man collab.
I hope so.
Please, Mega Man Spiral.
So definitely would like that. I definitely
I'd
would.
love to see Zero join him. I know someone else would.
Ooh, Glace. So, yes. That being said, we actually have another similar question for voice lines. So this comes from Colin, as well as Luca's right ear. And of the favorite characters that you have, of the characters you've voiced, right? What are your favorite voice lines? As well as they have a shout out mentioning your work on Tome and telling you to keep up the great work.
Oh, nice. Tome is very, very close to my heart, where I played Raccoon. Yeah, so I always appreciate when somebody remembers that. As far as my favorite voice lines, that's a tricky one. In the case of Durant, I know I really enjoyed those moments where it's kind of revealed that, oh, you're not as tough as you think you are. Those moments where, I believe as they say on the internet, he reveals himself to be one of those Tusundeers. Is that how they pronounce it? Tusundeers?
Tsundere. I think
Yes.
it's Tsundere?
Yeah,
Well,
Tsundere.
It's spelled Tusundeer. That's what I read it as.
That's awesome.
I know these. I know what it's called. I had my otaku days in high school. I had that. But those moments where it's like, it's not that makes me feel relaxed or nothing. Stuff like that. You got anything I can feed the wolves, like that sort of stuff, where you can tell, oh, you're just a sweetheart. You're just a little.
He has a big
baby.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
And again, going back to Volk, just all those moments where I just get to be so crazy and just so evil. This is no game. I will kill you here and now. All of that stuff, which thankfully that was the last thing that I had to record, because if I recorded him first, my voice would have been done, and I probably wouldn't have been able to do Joachim. Joachim would have ended up sounding like Durant. Yeah, there were a lot of things I had so much fun with, and even There were not many, but there are little moments where I'm like, I'm gonna try to sneak in my own little thing here, like the line that he says where a boss's HP is getting really low, and he says, "I smell blood." Like the sniffing part, like I ad-libbed that. I'm like, they'll keep it, and they did. So when little stuff like that happens, I always really dig that.
That's awesome.
Me putting a little bit of my own little creative stamp in there.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to max out Durant now.
Yeah. You should. He's a lot of fun to play.
You're really making me want to do it right now.
Glace, please. Live on stream.
All right, fine.
Time like the present.
Please tell me you're recording on your.
All right, fine. I'll record right now.
Yes.
Give me like one moment just to start recording.
Yes. In the meantime, we actually had a similar question from Japes that kind of fed into the ad-lib portion. They had mentioned, in regards to recording voices for Dragalia, often how long does that take for per character, as well as they had asked about a specific script, or if you were able to ad-lib, which I think we kind of mentioned with adding in the sniffing from Durant.
A little bit, yeah. But I can elaborate on that for sure.
Oh, sure.
So as far as that goes, for me, I think it took maybe about 45 minutes to record my characters. I did them all back to back, and I'd say it was, I want to say roughly 15 minutes on each, although I know because Volk had the fewest amount of lines, he took a little less than the others. But for me, it was pretty quick because I already knew what I was getting into. Like, I started playing the game right after I found out I was cast. I think I had to record maybe about a week or so later. So I had a few days of playing the game, just kind of figuring out what kind of voice clips would be used where, the way a lot of the attacks would sound, how long or how big a lot of them needed to be. So I was able to pretty much breeze through a lot of things. And then as far as the ad-libbing goes, in my case, because I've directed a couple video games before, like an indie game called Dust and Elysian Tale, and I know oftentimes the case when you're doing voices for video games, you often do not have nearly as much room to ad-lib because a lot of the dialogue is already coded into what's there. So if you add in new stuff, if you change words around, the developers have to go back in and change all that stuff. And sometimes a lot of people, understandably so, aren't able to commit the time to doing that. So I didn't play around that much. But once I unlocked, or once I summoned Estelle, who's voiced by my friend Tabitha St. Germain, and I heard a lot of her lines and the way she was delivering them, I was like, I know Tabitha to be very, very silly and oftentimes not read what is written for her at all in a cartoon. And there are several Estelle lines that come off to me as, oh, that's Tabitha doing Tabitha stuff. She's just being weird and doing whatever she wants. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like, maybe there was a little bit more room to play around than I thought, because there are certain things she says that I couldn't imagine anybody else writing for her. She's very special like that.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
I've been really quiet, not only to let him speak, but also because I legit am almost done.
Oh, you're still working on the Durant, I see.
Yeah, I don't have any gold crystals.
Oh no!
It's mana spirals.
Go farm it.
Yes.
I'm skipping it right now.
You must do.
You have the skip tickets.
I had like 40, and now I only have like 20.
We'll
'Cause I use
probably
them
get
for,
quite a few from the anniversary, so you shouldn't have
I
to worry
really
about
hope
your
they
skip
do.
tickets. I think on the half anniversary they ended up giving us almost 200 skip tickets.
What?
So.
Oh yeah, you get at least like 100.
Yeah, it's
All right,
definitely very
so
nice to get through.
I got them maxed out now. Let me put them together so y'all can. And yes, I am still recording.
Yes, we'll have that in post. We'll definitely be showing that for the YouTube.
The blade
iteration.
is not tier 2, but it is tier 1 max.
Next anniversary's coming up. I better start breezing through my skip tickets if they're gonna give me a bunch of free ones.
Yeah.
I'm glad I learned that. I'm learning so much.
Yeah, they'll be doing summons. I mean, last anniversary we had multiple tenfolds. All the Gala units came back on raid up.
Okay.
It is definitely something worth saving for, as well as for the things that they give us. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about that. It will be, as Okada says, bigger than last year. So I'm hoping he keeps to his word then. As he also mentioned that the patch,
I like the sound of that.
the patch coming up would also be the biggest patch Dragalia has ever seen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So these
And
are
they all
big
had
words.
Some really big updates.
Yeah.
first
The
couple
chain
of
coab update was very big for the 1.5
Yeah.
anniversary. And the dragon weapon update for the first anniversary was huge.
Mm-hmm.
It completely changed the entire dynamic of the game. So
The shared skills.
mhm. Yeah. So
What are good chain things for Durant?
It's I know people use Tobias.
I don't have bias.
Oh damn. But yeah, usually people use Tobias. A dagger and I think it's a dagger and a
Dagger 2.
Dagger 2, yeah.
yeah. And then I think
There goes
crit.
Selfie.
You use crit axe.
Oh, crit axe makes sense.
Yeah, crit
let me-
axe Tobias, and then either Laxi or Tiki, because Durant is
I have-
all standard attack damage, so you'll get the extra bonus there, which is quite
And-
literally a 20% increase to his damage.
There we go.
I
Okay,
feel like
stop
such a
recording.
disgrace not being able to be the resident Durant expert.
Hey, that's okay.
I just read the lines. Again, this is education for me. I'm learning so much.
Yes. You're part of the squad now.
Exactly.
And I believe, speaking of Glace, you have a question for Deven.
Yeah, I do. I got distracted by having to max out the 4-star.
Yes.
He's at 21 nodes for me. Devin, I was wondering if there are any collabs that you are looking to maybe collaborate with Dragalia. If so, what are they?
Okay. Now I will say to those listening, this is I have no official clout here. This is just what I would like to see. I would not mind seeing, because they've been putting her in a lot of things. I would love to see 2B from Nier. This is mainly just me wanting to be in stuff with my friends more often. My friend Kira Buckland does the voice of 2B, and I know she lost her mind when she got to be in Soul Calibur because it's one of her favorite games ever.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm. And another one, and plus, I would love to see Laxi meet 2B. There's so much fun stuff you could do with that.
Yeah.
That would definitely be cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And kind of a little bit more on the more out there side, I would love to see a crossover with ReZero,
Ooh.
because
Yes.
my friend Sean Chiplock voices Subaru, and he is a massive whale. He has been
Like-
playing this game since launch.
No
He
way.
is-
Oh my god.
He is easily put in multiple thousands of dollars,
Oh my
probably within months, and I know he would absolutely lose his mind. And I feel like after all the money he has given in Nintendo Inside games, I feel like he's earned it.
Wow. Bless him
Dude,
for supporting
imagine
the game. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine a stream where he tries to roll for himself.
That would be
And he doesn't
amazing.
get it.
Oh my god, that's even worse.
That'd
I
be
have seen
amazing.
him spend over $500 in a single stream. So, he would
my
do some
God.
incredible
Oh my
things,
God.
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. No, that's so amazing. Like, I think honestly, with the new season of ReZero out, for those that are listening that are also watching, it's been exciting so far. I don't want to drop any spoilers, but I'm definitely been a fan of the series. So yeah, I'm
He's really proud of his work on it, so
it's really good.
thrilled to hear that.
Yeah, his voice acting is really really good.
I only saw the bunny scene.
Oh, you
I
definitely
don't think
need
I've
to
watched
watch
the
it.
latest season.
You need to watch it.
I lost my Crunchyroll premium subscription, and I meant to watch it, but then I got caught up in night shift, so I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of I'll get my Crunchyroll subscription, right, and then I will watch as much anime as humanly possible within that month. So I'll wait for any shows that I'm super excited about. I'll wait till it finishes, and then I'll just go and I'll watch as much as I can. I think we did. I also have a Funimation subscription, and in 3 days, my girlfriend and we watched all of Black Clover.
Oh,
That's impressive.
So it was.
That's
I think it's 150 episodes or 134, I think, in the English dub.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we watched it start to finish for that segment. So she was very excited about it.
I know how you feel, bro. I watched Hunter x Hunter in 3 days and a half.
Yes, that's also
It's
an awesome show.
148 episodes.
Mhm.
So,
I
yeah.
think I watched all of Fairy Tail, and I don't know.
That's sad.
Okay, this was 6 years ago. Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty sad still.
but I watched all of Fairy Tail in a week on Hulu.
Wow. Okay.
That's 400 episodes.
That,
I don't know what
That
I
is
was
that
thinking.
is pretty sad.
Stop it, LERART, or I'm demoting you down to Bishop.
Hey, it's always good to have different opinions because that's how we have better conversations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no, definitely a collab with ReZero would be very cool. And I know Cygames has been, very interested in doing collaborations with anime in their other
okay.
titles. I know Shadowverse did a Fate series collab. They also did a Princess Connect, which I think is another game title that they have. What else was there? There's another one that's more recent. It's the show. Gosh, I can't think of the name, but the main character is Lelouch.
Code Geass?
Code Geass. Yes, Code Geass.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, they have a collaboration that had gone on not too long ago, where you could get those as deck masters in Shadowverse. I hope that's the correct term. I don't play Shadowverse, but I do like to know what's going on with the developer and the other games and see, kind of where things might lead for Dragalia, because that's kind of a good indication. An example of this would be in Grand Blue Fantasy, the other title that Cygames is basically known for. Their cream of the crop, their most popular title. They have essentially gala banners every, at the beginning and at the middle of every month, or the end and the middle of every month. And that pattern is officially making its way into Dragalia, where we've had gala remixes in the middle. And then we've had our new gala with either a new gala dragon or a gala adventure at the end of each month.
Okay.
So it's definitely nice to see patterns there. I believe Grand Blue is 6 years old, and it is stronger than ever. They have console titles. They have an animation that they got to do. So
They also have a shit ton of collabs.
yes. Well, I would be excited if they did an animation.
Grand Blue gets the money to fund DL, basically.
Well, I think for now,
Grand Blue
because
collab win.
Grand Blue didn't start getting popular until I think their third year. So it took time for Grand Blue to really make an impact on the market.
Okay.
So
This is giving me more and more hope.
yeah, as a new IP, right, and as a new IP, Dragalia, of course, has that to deal with. But of course, I would say they're doing very well. Especially with the amount of excitement generated by the Dragalia Lives that Devin's been doing.
Oh, thank you.
I really think that's been a huge boost to the community. I've seen a lot of positivity on sites that are normally more negative, like the subreddit typically tends to, doom and gloom from time to time. But every single time...
That's so funny to me. Because that's why I think of the subreddit as being a positive place, because that's mainly what I go there for. see, I've got nothing bad to say about it.
That's amazing. No, that's amazing. Because every time I've seen a post, it immediately skyrockets to the top, and all of this positivity just completely floods into the subreddit, and it's been a really awesome experience to see that.
I've really loved being a part of the community, and again, like the response has been so positive to every interaction that I've had, despite the fact that so many people only play in Japanese, which again I've got no problem with. But if people are able to still appreciate English content and the effort that I and others have been putting in, that's something that means a whole lot to me. If I can just help people smile, if I can maybe even bring some new people into the game and appreciating the story and its characters, like that's what I hope to get out of this.
Absolutely, yeah, and I believe, and Glace, and I'm sure LERART also can attest that it has been. I mean, honestly, it's amazing. Like it is something that obviously is done out of love, right? And and we really appreciate that. It definitely draws in a lot of attention, and I see people, outside of the game that are finding it. I'm showing my friends and things like that, sharing elsewhere, and they're very excited about it. So
that's awesome. It means so much to me.
So, and I know LERART, you also had a question, and this kind of ties into kind of what we're talking about as well, which was also shared by Animus DF as well. So LERART, if you wanted to go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, so I have actually 3 questions. They're kind of similar, but first, who is your biggest inspiration for voice acting?
Ooh, okay. This is a tough one because I've got so many favorites. I can say where it all kind of started for me was this very, very obscure anime from the early 90s called Samurai Pizza Cats. Which has one of the most unique dubs of all time. I like to refer to it as the original abridged series because it was kind of just dubbed like a silly cartoon in the most extreme way. They pretty much watched it on mute and made up whatever they wanted.
That's amazing.
So you would have characters arguing with each other about how the plot makes absolutely no sense and how poorly designed certain characters are and how they don't get paid enough to work on this stupid show. It's really, really incredible. There's one scene where a character just starts referring to another one as Oprah because why not?
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderfully weird, and then that's a show. Even though it came out in the early '90s, it's one I rediscovered and really got into in the early 2000s when I was really big into online communities. That's the first time when I was able to hear a voice demo from one of the actors, and I'm just hearing him doing all this silly, ridiculous, over-the-top stuff, and I'm just like, me as the shyest kid in school at the time, cartoons were a really, really big escape for me. And seeing all these larger-than-life characters, seeing all these dynamic voices, people who aren't afraid to talk and be weird, that really drew me in, and I decided, you know what? I kind of want to try doing that. And lo and behold, I started out doing stuff online on like Newgrounds and then YouTube. And before you know it, like 6 years later, I started doing stuff for TV. So it really all started there. A couple other influences I'll throw out there were Star Fox 64. That was the very first video game that I heard voice acting in, and that is my favorite game of all time.
Yes.
Can I say
Oh my
something?
God.
Oh yeah, go for it.
It's this. You have no idea of how much I love Star Fox.
Yes.
Oh,
And like, I
we
know
are
one
fam.
time, yeah, man, I love Star Fox. One time I went to like a friend's house, and we liked so much like Star Fox 64
Mhm.
that we can quote any phrase from the game. So like, while we were playing, we were just like repeating the quotes with the characters. And
That's me.
that, like one of my friends that like never played Star Fox, he was like, "What
Barrel
the
roll.
fuck is this?" I feel like I'm on like with some crazy person.
That's
Mm.
awesome.
And we would just be like, "Who are you guys?
We're Star Fox.
Yeah, you never defeat Andros." It's so good. I love Star Fox. It's so cool that like that was so big for you on,
That's
on
amazing.
voice acting because I love it so much.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that.
If
that
I
is
may
my
say
life.
something real quick too, actually, my grandmother got me into video games, and her favorite game was Star Fox 64.
So
Alright.
good.
gosh.
Basically, the way I got into video games was because of Star Fox 64.
That's
It's
so
so good.
amazing. We
Sorry for cutting you off, but like
No.
I was just
this
I
is
got
turned
excited.
this has turned into a Star Fox
That's what it is
64.
now. How about- you know what? I want a Star Fox collab. I changed my
Yes.
answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
That would be
sorry to all of
amazing.
my friends who are not in Star Fox. That's what it is now.
This would be so
Let's
good.
go.
Imagine them. They could have that the gunner, right? Where
Mhm.
they,
Oh,
they could have
the
their guns,
Landmaster. They call them the
Oh, yes.
Landmaster for their
yes,
dragon form.
that would be so cool. Or even even just their main ship.
The
What do you-
Arwing.
the Great
No, that'd be
Fox.
Falcon.
The Great
Oh,
Fox.
That would be-
The Great Fox. That would
Great
The Great
Fox.
Fox would be an amazing dragon.
And then
That would
yeah,
be
Yeah.
their
Oh
skill
my
can
God.
be smart bombs or whatever the case may be. Oh,
Oh.
my gosh! I remember I used to. This is gonna date me pretty hard, but I used to go to like a family video or a Blockbuster
Mhm.
Yeah.
to rent my games, and I didn't own Star Fox for the longest time, but every time my family and I would go, I was probably like 4 or 5 at the time. They'd let me pick out a game to rent, and it was either Smash Brothers or Star Fox 64 every weekend, every time.
that is-
Wow.
That is actually the same for me.
Yes,
I love that is exactly the same for me.
yes. I would spend my entire weekend with my brother, and we would play either game.
awesome.
Man, I would just get the Pokemon movies when I went to Blockbuster.
Also a good idea. Also a good idea.
I'm
Those were
so
good.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Devin was like telling his story, and I got so excited to like hear
No,
about
that's
Star
fine.
Fox. Then. I'm sorry.
That's
Um,
totally fine. I mean, there isn't that much more to it. Again, very similar to you. I grew up just quoting all those lines. I could just like quote it all day. Something's wrong with the G diffuser. I found the target. Try to keep up.
Oh my
all
God.
that stuff. And yeah, so that was a huge influence and just inspiration for me. And then to be in a Nintendo game now is just the most surreal thing in the world for me. That's why I got so into it. Another thing I'll throw out real quick. The very first character voice that I ever learned how to do, because I started out just doing imitations of characters, but the first one I could nail was Meowth from Team Rocket. I'm gonna capture that Pikachu.
Wow, that is
Oh
really
my
good.
God, that's so accurate.
That
That's
was
on
my guy.
point.
That was my guy.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah. Again, all of my major influences in voice acting, a lot of them go back to either Pokemon or cats, or Nintendo rather. Pokemon, Nintendo, and or cats.
I have a Yoda impression,
Do
Oh,
you?
but I feel like everyone does still.
LERART, do it.
I am the how could it? Okay, co-host of the Halidom Hotspots. I am.
That's pretty good.
Oh, come on!
Good.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and the last, like, you already replied. My second question was gonna be like, what made you start voice acting? But like, you kind of answered that already. So my last question would be, what's your favorite part about voice acting? With which you kind of also answered.
I can still build upon that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the fact that it's so liberating. And as a shy kid, the fact that I was still very shy when I got on my first TV show. But the fact that I'm able to kind of go into that recording studio and be these crazy, confident, larger than life personalities that were so far away from who I was in a sense able to learn so much from the characters that I was playing and the other actors that I was getting to meet. Essentially, I got to pretend to be confident characters so often that I tricked myself into becoming a much more confident person. So it's been really cool like that. In addition to just getting to play so many characters who look absolutely nothing like me, so nobody would expect them to be me in the first place.
That's so cool. Yeah. There is something to be said about tricking yourself into thinking one way or another. Based on how you're acting. So that's really, really cool. Wow.
That's why it doesn't really hurt to just like try new things oftentimes. If it's something that you think you might enjoy, give it a shot. You never really know where it's going to go for you. I thought it was just going to be some silly hobby that I did after school, recording stuff online. And now I'm in like shows. I'm recording stuff pretty much every week for something, and people hear me all the time. And it's still surreal to me because I never ever saw something like this happen. And people who went to school with me are like, you do what now? You didn't even speak in class.
They're telling their friends and family, they're like, I went to class with that guy.
Uh-huh.
So, that's pretty awesome.
Dude, I remember, oh, sorry, what?
Oh, no, I was going to ask another question, but go ahead.
And I was just going to say, back to like, oh, hey, so-and-so. I remember, this is like months ago, my little sisters were watching, I think the name of it is Total Dramarama.
Yes, where I do the voice of Chef Hatchet.
Exactly. And I went to my mom like, oh, hey, I know that guy. I was like, oh, yeah, I've talked to him on Discord. He's really cool. And she's like, what? It's like, you know that guy? I'm like, yeah, he's really cool. And she just like was utterly baffled.
That's awesome. A lot of the times response people get is like, yeah, right, you're making that up. One of my favorite comments that I saw in the subreddit, one of my first times there, was somebody saying, I can't take the voice of Volk seriously anymore after I found out he's Chef in Total Dramarama.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Which just makes me smile. I can't even be mad at that. That's just funny to me.
We'll have to...
Now I can't. Now I'm probably not going to take Volk seriously anymore. I'm just going to see the chef from Drama Island.
We'll have to ask our artists.
We are Agito, the fang of the fangless, irremissible.
That's so amazing. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
We'll have to ask the artists in the Discord to make a mock-up of Chef Volk.
Oh my god.
I think that would be the ultimate crossover.
And you know what Chef Volk is cooking, right? The rich.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He'd have his
Anyway.
Was it what's the highest star rated restaurant? 3, 4? Is it?
It's
I'm pretty sure
3?
5.
Is it up to
I'm
5?
pretty sure the rating goes up to 5.
Oh god.
I know
know,
from Ratatouille, the guy like had a 3-star restaurant.
We can look that up later.
Yeah, we'd have to see. But of course, Volk would have the highest star rating, right? Because then he would invite in the rich,
Of course.
and then they'd be on the menu.
His meals are to die for.
Yes, quite
He
literally.
would love to have you for dinner.
Oh, it's 5. It's 5. Okay.
They open the menu, it just says irremissible.
No, or you open the menu and it just says you.
Oh my gosh. I would panic.
No, you
oh
open,
my gosh.
No, you.
Yeah, it's
you
a
open the
5-star
menu.
restaurant.
It's
Like,
5?
so everything, yeah. So like everything is expensive,
Mhm.
and then it's just like,
Yeah.
what's your specialty? Cooking people like you?
No. You open up the menu and it's a mirror.
Oh
I
no.
like that even more.
You'd be like, oh.
I'm
Yes.
looking quite handsome today.
Oh man.
Anyways, Orthodox, you're about to ask the next question.
Yes. I was going to ask in regards to the voice acting industry. We had a question by, I think it's Sedif, that LERART, if you believe it's the, I believe that's how it's pronounced. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong for the pronunciation. But they had a question in regards to how COVID had impacted you or in the VA industry in general. And then, of course, they also wished that you're doing okay, and they also love your stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, I'm doing fine, all things considered. Yeah, the game has definitely changed. For starters, there are so many commercials these days saying, in these uncertain times, we must all work together because we're in this together. Also buy hamburgers and diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, corporation.
playing with the arms and angels, you know?
So yeah, it's very, very different. Because the tricky thing about voice acting is we go into a tiny room with recirculated air,
Right.
and we scream. We scream lots of particles into the air, and then we leave, and then another person goes in. Whoopsie. So
Right.
that has been very, very tricky, especially in the case of a lot of cartoons, where some, not all of them, but some of them do like to record multiple actors together at the same time so they can play off of each other. We don't do that anymore, at least not for now. So there have been a lot of precautions that have been taken. Nowadays, they will have oftentimes hours apart between an actor being able to come in to record their lines. They won't record people at the same time. Engineers who have been our heroes, they have been superheroes during this time. They'll be like disinfecting microphones and all these surfaces, and they'll be changing out the pop filters. Sometimes they'll be switching the microphone to one that's already been cleaned. So much stuff they've been putting in. And a common thing also, because understandably so, a lot of people have been uncomfortable just going out into a studio in the first place. So a lot of companies have been very gracious in allowing us to record from home. A lot of people have scrambled to get the proper equipment and software and treating their recording space at their house to be able to accommodate that. So it's been a lot of rushing to try to make things work. I'm sure, Glace, I'm sure you noticed with Summer Patia.
Oh my god! Yes.
That took some time to
It
get
took
sorted out.
It was like a month, I think. It was almost a month after Summer Patia's release until Sarah Troyer's voice was finally able to get to the English version.
Yeah. So again, thankfully, a lot of studios have been very accommodating, trying to work around, trying to make sure that things were safe and comfortable for whoever's been recording. But it's been really cool how a lot of stuff has been able to work out as a result. And there have been many things that have come out, although it's taken extra effort from the engineer. You really wouldn't be able to tell that this is just a bunch of people recording from their homes from wherever. And again, that is all thanks to just engineers being awesome and working with all their wizardry to make it sound like these people are all in the same place.
Yeah, it's definitely with the pandemic, it's a complete game changer. I don't think that we'll ever not see masks out in public now.
I mean, I definitely hope that changes someday, but it seems like we're stuck in this for a while. I'm gonna be recording, I would say since April, pretty much everything that I've done for anything, I've just been recording at home in my closet, and might be like that for the foreseeable future. I hope not, but this is just where we're at now.
Right.
These uncertain times.
Especially in like America and Brazil, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Wear
definitely...
your masks. Even Volk wears a mask.
He does.
Yeah.
I'm
Volk
not
does.
sure why, but he does.
Well,
And
he gets plagued
be a lot
if
worse
you
if you
transfer it. So I guess there's a way to get him plagued, right?
Mhm.
No, see, the thing is that he only wants to give the plague to intentionally to people. He doesn't want to give the plague to people who don't deserve it, right?
That's true. That's very
So he
true.
controls the spread by wearing the mask.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
I think
true.
we'll have to find. There's an art piece as well that someone had done with Volk without the mask. I don't know if you had seen it, Deven.
I've seen a couple, and he is eerily gorgeous every
Yes.
time, and I'm so confused and so in awe, but in the best way.
Yes.
I mean, people like their hot anime boys, all right?
Yeah.
He is the edgiest one.
And he is the edgiest boy.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, yes, as we stated off camera, he is also, I think, collectively the three of our favorite Agito.
Oh.
So, I
that's
mean, even
cool.
from the fight itself, the mechanics are extremely fun to play, and I want to say as well that the music, along with the voice line, they pair so well. Both versions. The Japanese one is really, really good, and then of course yours is amazing.
When I heard that song for the first time, like I flipped my lid because again, this is my first time being in a video game, and getting that as my theme song. I was like, yo!
Yes. It just you feel like you're in, an anime, right?
Oh yeah.
And he was also then the first experience that we had at 2 HP bars. And that second gen mentality of him transforming, and then him being like, I'll end this here and now, like I'll kill you, like that whole line to me like was just, it was awesome.
He was also like the first boss that we like. Affliction was like starting to be like a big thing.
Yes.
Because before that, the High Dragon Trials, they either had like 100% res, or at the time, because of the how afflictions worked at the time, afflictions were weak, and so Volk was the first time we like were playing around with afflictions and Punisher skills.
Okay.
So like the Volk was, I think, while nowadays not the hardest or anything, he was like one of the biggest things, I feel, and maybe that's like one of the reasons that I like Volk so much. But I just like the character. Like even nowadays when I read the story, Volk is my favorite.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Of all the Agito, I feel like he's the one who's got the motivation that's the easiest to understand and relate to. He's going about it in a horrible way, but you kind of understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only other one that is understandable or relatable as well is Tartarus. Speaking of Tartarus as the newest Agito. So from first to last, right? So, of course, as you mentioned earlier, you can never forget your first. And so Volk being our first Agito is, of course, the most memorable in that regard. But Tartarus's motivations are also understandable because for him, Alberius, the original king, he felt was wrongly taken from him. And so, because the world was so willing to sacrifice Alberius, he now believes that the world is corrupt. And so, because they took Alberius from him, he wants to take everything from the world. And so, essentially you can attribute it to, an individual that he loved and was so proud of. right? And he feels wronged or ill, you know, and you can kind of empathize with him.
That's
in that
very
regard.
tragic. Yeah.
So, I do like that. I do, as well as the mechanics for his fight are also very cool too. So,
Well, when they fixed the color portal thing,
well, okay, but
I think that's broken right now.
I actually have. There was a bigger bug that they had fixed. They had to give out apology wormite. So I think Deven too
Was it the
probably had it as
invincibility
well.
one?
Yes, I have a recording of it.
I did get that.
I have a recording of myself. I was playing Hunter Vanessa, and I was in voice comms with some friends, and we had made a mistake, and someone had died, and they're like, "Okay, just go ahead and die, and we'll change our prints." I wasn't speaking at the time. I was in a place where I had to be quiet, and I couldn't die. I would run into the purple, and then nothing would happen. And so my first clear.
Terrible problem.
My first clear was me just repeatedly poking Expert Tartarus with my lance until he finally died, like 10 minutes later. So,
Oh my god.
It's a great problem to have.
yeah, I was like, oops, my first clear. But,
Suffering from success.
yeah, so it was pretty ridiculous. But yeah, that being said, the motivations of the Agitos, definitely agree. Volk having a very relatable and understandable motivation, and then of course the irony about it is how the Agito choose to go about it in a wrong way.
Oh yeah.
So
You agree with them to a point.
right. Yeah, it's like they have a very extreme solution to a common problem. So it definitely makes them fun as characters, and of course, as we said earlier, fingers crossed for a playable Volk.
That would be
Oh, yes.
super cool.
That means more voice lines.
It would.
I will say when Master came out and it immediately opened with a new voice line, I was ecstatic.
Yes.
And the thing for me is I totally forgot about that line because I recorded them all at the same time. So
Yeah.
when I saw that pop up in a video, I was like, "Oh, I did do that."
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it's so
And
awesome.
watching a video is the only way that I've been able to hear that line because oh my goodness, I still even standard Volk, I can't. I last about 30 seconds if I'm lucky.
Yeah,
You're doing co-op, right?
I've tried it a few times, and
Dude, we should try-
only once I made it through.
We should try to get you some clears sometime.
I would
Yeah.
I would appreciate that.
Let's
I would
carry
be
you
cool
in,
with that.
in Master.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yes.
Why?
We'll call it the the crash course training from hardest
Oh,
to easiest.
Literal
One
trial
mark-
by fire.
Yes.
Trial by
One
fire.
Marth, one Galaxy, one Hoenn. Just
Oh my gosh.
carry it.
Yes.
It's Volk and the squad.
Yeah. Volk and the
Oh,
boys.
boy.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, no, definitely. He's a lot of fun, and the thing is that the hardest part about Volk is that opening.
Yeah.
So the whole trap phase, his whole nothing personal kid teleporting mechanic, all of that is by far the hardest part of the fight. And then once he transforms, then you get into the really anime-like fight where everything is red, you can roll, you can skill, it feels very fluid. And that's really what makes Master a lot of fun because they kind of remove that difficult entry and they get you right into the red element. Well, they still have the purple tornadoes, but for the most part, it's his swiping and his spinning around and his dashing and the overwhelming hunger mechanic where he's plaguing the field and all that.
Right.
So
I will say I was over the moon when they added Volk to the main story.
Yes.
Because in there, that's where I can beat him all by myself like a big boy.
Yes.
I was so happy.
Yes. That's so awesome. Yeah. I think I used I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I used Audric in the story when I did it. I just soloed with Audric.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did it with Mega Man.
Yeah.
Of
It's
course.
fun. I really like the aspect that Cygames has taken in regards to the story of re-adding those endgame bosses. It to me, it feels like it's Cygames telling the player base, "Come on, guys, look, they're not scary. Like, you can do this. You can do this." And then you beat it in the story, and you get to see some of their moveset, and then it kind of gives you that confidence to go, into expert and standard for the Agito, as well as we're seeing it with the Astral High Dragons. So the first Astral High Dragon we had was Midgar, and in that, it was part of the event. You got to use a dragon the entire time. So that was a lot of fun. I know we did some more meme clears. I did an Audric and Mini Zodi thematic meme clear for that.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. But yeah, just little ways to kind of improve the confidence of the player base.
It definitely improved my confidence a whole lot doing that. And then when I went and fought Standard Volk, the confidence went right back down. But for that little moment, I felt great.
Yes, like a superhero.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Volk, though, I think the next question is pretty cool, right?
It definitely is. And this question initially came from Zarman. And so the question that they had asked is, how many times did you have to repeat the word irremissible to get it the way it does in game?
Oh, that's a good question. For most of the lines for every character, I typically we kind of go through the list and I just read each one 2, usually 3 times. And if they don't have any notes for me, I just go right to the next one. So I'll be like, here's the last one, bear those fangs. Here's the last one, bear those fangs. Here's the last one, bear those fangs. Okay, next line. Sick 'em, dragon. Sick 'em, dragon. Stick 'em, dragon. That's pretty much how it goes. So just bang, 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 bang.
Wow, that's awesome, yeah.
Yeah. And there's certain ones, again, if I don't understand how a line is being used, then the voice director will explain it to me. They'll say like, hey, we need a little bit more energy here, or we need you to emphasize this, or here's how you pronounce this thing. Here's how we're going to pronounce Valkheim. All that stuff, and then just kind of go right on to the next one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. That sounds awesome. Glace, did you want to propose the idea that we had off camera?
Yeah, so we were thinking that the 3 of us could do our best impression of Volk saying the word irremissible.
Ooh.
And then you decide who is the better person to be like Volk's sidekick.
All right. You know what? I am totally down for this. Let's go.
All right, who would like to go first? Glace, would you like to do the honors, or would you like me to go first?
Here, you go first, and then LERART, and then...
All right.
Right.
All right, I'm going to give it my best shot. Irremissible.
Okay, I don't want to go second. Go,
LERART, you don't want to go?
Yeah, guys, go before me.
It's a plague. Irremissible.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Wait, I'm gonna mute myself. Are you
gonna... LERART, he's getting stage fright. You can do this, LERART. I believe in you.
I can do it.
I
cannot
believe
do it.
You can do it.
Irremissible.
Nice.
Hey!
I can do it.
Pretty good. Dude, that was good. You got that texture in there. I dig it.
Yes.
You definitely got that I've gargled razor blades voice going on. Which is the key to a good Volk.
That's awesome.
Man, that was really, really close. I'm gonna say Volk by a hair, by a plague covered hair.
No way, I think you're being too humble.
It was tough. It was tough, but you really got all that. All the plague, all the plague, all the grunge that was really, really in there.
LERART, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
The honorary runner-up and Volk's sidekick, LERART.
Congratulations,
LERART, you are demoted to bishop.
Congrats, LERART.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
was awesome. Very awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you, Deven, for hosting our competition on the spot.
My pleasure. I enjoyed witnessing and judging the first ever Irremissible Off.
Oh man, chills every time. That's
I
so
can't.
awesome. I wouldn't put yourself down, Laura. You might have a future in voice acting. You wowed us with your Yoda in the beginning. You wowed us with your Yoda.
I do some impressions of some characters on my like native language sometimes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know if I don't think I can voice act.
See, here's the
But it's
confidence
cool.
coming
It's definitely cool.
out. Yes, yes. It's all encouragement here, Laura. You'll see, guys, in the comments down below as well for anyone listening, especially there on YouTube. Definitely let us know which one you guys think won. And of course, it's LERART, so please tell him how awesome he was. And you know, it's he'll get some imaginary internet points and more confidence to become a VA.
Oh yeah, that clout.
Yes. Hey, you never know. Maybe LERART becomes the next adventurer.
You never know.
You never know. So, I think we have all of our questions done from the community pool, but we do have one final question that is by Izzy,
Okay.
and it is simply, do you believe that Lowen is the goodest boy?
Oh, Lowen is a sweet boy. He's so sweet. Now, admittedly, I don't know him super well, but I recently added him to my wind team. And he's adorable. I don't have Halloween Lowen yet, but I've heard that he's like pretty amazing.
Yes, yes. And he'll be back because Halloween's almost upon us.
Oh, that's right. But yes, I did. I've been using him to replace Akasha, who, as much as I love her accent, Lowen's better.
Yes, yeah. I have Lowen Spiraled is very good too. So you'll definitely see if you are looking to spiral. Lowen has the ability to support a fully auto expert Ciela composition.
I did not know he had Spiral, and that changes everything. Okay, I've got him at 48 right now,
Yes.
so that I've got work to
Two
do.
more.
Yes, we'll get you in farming your Agito weapons soon
All
enough.
right. Oh yes, please. I have
So-
not actually beaten expert Ciela yet. I keep getting, but then I run out of time.
Yes, she is a lot of fun. She is. Expert
I definitely
Ciela.
enjoyed that battle though.
Yeah, the I believe it's called Shatter or Frail. I forget the exact mechanic name. Every time you get hit, you do lose a little bit of your defenses.
Oh,
It's vulnerability.
Vulnerability, yes. Thank you, Glace. Yes. So up to 3 times it removes a maximum of, I believe it was 40%, 45% defense. So the goal is not to get hit, but obviously sometimes that happens. So yeah, she's definitely a lot easier for characters that have bog resistance.
okay.
So Lowen or typically
Like Joachim.
yeah, or even Joachim. Yeah,
Oh,
that would definitely
alright.
work. So, yeah, that fight is a lot of fun. It definitely is. We will have
I've
to.
been enjoying it.
If you ever need help, you have your friends.
I
we will help you.
definitely need help.
So,
You
Be
have
my
a spot
friend.
here. Like we
Yes.
have a full group here.
yes, we are all fully
No,
fully geared
Perfect.
endgame players.
I could
Perfect.
Patia so you could survive. Gotta
Yes,
get those defense buffs.
we get the themed clear. All our favorite characters
Oh my
together. So
I
God.
do
What would that
actually
be like?
use Patia for my shared skill actually for Joachim too.
yes,
Oh, nice.
Patia shared skill is one of the best shared skills in the game.
Oh yeah.
So that is definitely a good pickup. Yeah, the ability to do the double buffing, as well as the amount of cheese strategies that involve Patia shared skill, definitely makes it
Karina.
worthwhile. Yeah, Karina comes to mind, absolutely. Oh my gosh. What was it? The fastest time was 13 seconds, I believe, in the twins.
What? It's gotten that fast?
Yeah, I think I could find one. There was, it was 13 seconds, and they just completely delete the twins. So
Damn.
right into a time.
So most of that is.
Yeah, it's like most of it is the transformation.
Yeah.
So you bop the twin, right, and then they start transforming, and everyone's hanging out, and then as soon as the Mothra-like creation comes out, they just bop it, and then it's done.
It's a fairy, actually.
Yes, or a fae, I guess technically. I'm not sure.
They're really sparkly.
Yes, yeah. I get that Mothra vibe from Godzilla, so I often refer to it in that manner. So, yeah, I think.
You know what? There was a question from Cam. I don't think we got to.
Oh yes. We have who's your favorite adventure from each element, and then there's a smiley face.
My favorites. So naturally, I have a massive bias towards Durant on Shadow and Joachim on Wind. But I think naturally, because Joachim, I gotta have Kirsty. I can't not have Kirsty.
Yes, she's very cool.
So yes, I've definitely got her on my team as well. Let's see, I'm just cycling through right now. On Water, I have so many favorites on Water. Starting with the three that I am already good friends with. Mitsuba by my friend. It's so much fun to play. Voiced by my friend Anna Sani, who I'm trying to get into the game. She's been playing so much League of Legends. I'm like, that's the wrong game. You're not in it.
Yes.
Play this one. And then, of course, Lily, voiced by my friend and student Lizzie Freeman. And then somebody I met through the projects that are the videos I've been putting together. Rickard, actually, I liked even before I met the actor online. Because he's just so adorable. He's so precious and he must be protected at all costs. So and then when I saw the Backbone castle story, the one that ties the pipe down worm print, that was the first time that I burst out laughing reading the game.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I gotta get in contact with this actor. I gotta see if I can do something with that. And fortunately, it was eventually able to happen. And then another one I really like on Water, Xander is hilarious to me. Everything he says, I love it. Your king has arrived. Wonderfully over the top. That is my kind of acting. He's great.
I love every life that Xander is in.
Oh yes, the doghouse
so
one.
Yeah,
right from the get-go.
The Christmas ones, or rather Dragon Yule.
Oh yes, so good. Meanwhile, on the light side, I've already mentioned Estelle, voiced by Tabitha St. Germain. She's wonderful and hilarious. Most people know her as the voice of Rarity from My Little Pony. She is wonderful. She's also the voice of Halloween. Is it Halloween? Yes, Halloween Mim is. She also voices.
Really?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Another one of my favorites on Light is Curran, who is hilarious. Voiced by my friend Andrew McNee, and he's, oh my gosh, everything he says makes me laugh. Even when it's serious, it makes me laugh because he's just that kind of guy. And let's see, over on on Fire, I have taken to using Carl a lot because he makes me laugh in that same kind of
I love
way.
Carl.
Justice, yes. I love me some wacky over the top characters, and Dragalia Lost has its share of them, and he's great. Brian Drummond voices him. Over 9,000 Vegeta.
Oh,
Yeah, that's so cool. I think he also voices Zubagier. Is that correct?
I'm not sure, but I know that he's a handful of characters in the game. He's also Zodiac.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah, so he's.
I love
he's
Zodiac
around.
stuff.
Oh yes, he's great.
Strike harder.
He also gets his own custom Zodiac theme song for the High Dragons, which is
Oh
really
yeah.
I did not know that. I'm gonna have to go look into that again. That's pretty darn cool.
cool. You said Brian Drummond was
Yes.
the voice. Yes, so he does Zubagier.
Okay.
I remembered this. I was talking to, I think it was LERART, I think it was Quite as well. And I was geeking out about the event that Zubagier was in with Radiant Swansang. They had I would say a subtle nod, but it was pretty big to Dragon Ball for this event. Because the band that did the event song for that event was the same band that typically does openings for Dragon Ball.
Oh no way!
And the event itself was off of Wukong, right? Which is very similar
Who
to
is
like
based on
like Son Goku,
the
right?
Monkey King.
And
yeah.
then you got Zubagier, who as a character is obsessed with his wife. He loves his wife, right? And he's also a very manly man. And that's very, very similar to how Vegeta is.
My Bulma!
Yes.
Yeah.
The old like a nod to is it Battle of the Gods? He's the only one to strike. I forget the name of the god of destruction. Beerus.
Oh, Beerus, yes.
Yes, he's the only one to strike Beerus after Beerus strikes his wife.
Yeah.
So there's that whole layer or nods, if you will, to Dragon Ball, and I thought that was really, really cool and really well done.
That's awesome. Okay, I definitely. All right, I remember Zubagier now. I'm just looking him up.
Yeah, he's a really cool and really well designed character.
Yeah, I love that art style.
Yes. Yeah, he's got that manly man look, right? And he's
Very
got his
manly.
unique play style where he's a low health character. They call him like enmity, I believe is the term from Grand
Yeah.
Blue. But he's a low health character, and when he drops himself to low health, he has a passive that prevents any kind of healing. Kind of like being like, I'm a manly man, I can take care of myself, like I don't need any healing type deal. And that's just like, it just plays into his kit, right? It plays into his voice line, and like the whole package is really cool.
Okay.
I think he actually punches with his Force Strike, if I'm not mistaken. Like he just throws
That's
like body checks.
incredible.
Yeah. It's a really awesome character. So, and of course Brian does a phenomenal job. So,
Oh, he's so good.
yes. So yeah, I apologies for my tangent. I got excited.
No, dude, I love it. Again, there's so much stuff I'm learning about the game just from being a part of this, and that is a character who I'd totally forgotten about him because like I never got him. So I'm just like, oh, who's that? And now I'm like, oh, that awesome beard guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, no, he's definitely awesome. I know we have a few friends in the Discord who are head over heels about Zubagier, so I can never forget myself.
The more you tell me, the more I can understand why.
Yeah. I really, and I think that's another thing that Dragalia does so well, and that Cygames does so well is every character, is lovable in their own way. And the voice actors, you guys definitely bring them to life as well.
Thank you.
Like they take a one-dimensional, feature, right? And then through the storytelling and through the voice acting that they have, they really spin it to give dynamics to these characters.
Absolutely. I'm just constantly impressed and floored at how Cygames and Nintendo are able to come up with just so many distinct characters and so many distinct designs, and they just keep coming, and it's amazing, and I love it.
Absolutely, yeah, me too. And Glace as well, as he is ecstatic with Patia and all her appearances. I know when Summer Patia came in, there was Glace was very excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I got pinged so many times.
Yes.
It was at least 10 times in the night it was data mined. I got pinged so many times in so many different servers.
Yes.
And I got her a lot faster than you.
I'm still. LERART got her on his first single, and I spent like 150 summons for her.
Wow.
I'm still slightly mad at LERART for that, because I'm like going through tenfolds, not getting her, and I just see LERART going, "Hey, I got her on my first summon." I'm like, what?
we have a saying for us as well as in the Discord. If there's a character that you really want, you have to talk to me, and if I have any kind of conversation, the polls always seem to go well. I don't know what it is. LERART has a screenshot of me telling him the day before reset that he would pull Summer Patia on the first single ticket. And then reset happens, and he sends me a screenshot, one single ticket, and it's Summer Patia.
That's not fair.
I know. And then he's like, "Do I keep pulling? I guess I'm done." You know, like.
No, I was like, okay, but I want Mars.
Yes.
If I get Mars on my next tenfold, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Oh,
and
this
then
is so good.
him on my first.
Yeah. I said go for it, and he's like, "All right." And it was Patia then Mars, and then done.
Wow.
I will say I do like the idea of Summer Patia's playstyle, because she only wants to relax, but she's also kind of an enmity unit. So because her strength it's like below 40%, her strength gets buffed, which I contribute to that she gets pissed off. Like people aren't letting her enjoy her vacation, so when she gets on that low health, she just gets really pissed off at everything, and that's what I love about that.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the alts in general of the characters is another way in which you can show more of the dynamics of that character, because you can see with Patia, right, where this was like her first chance to like have a vacation, and then throughout the event that didn't quite happen. So
she fucking got murdered.
Well,
in the second part.
Well, yes, she did, didn't she?
I'm still not over that.
In our Danganronpa.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I remember
that. So painful.
Glace changed his profile picture.
Video I put out. Yeah, I changed my profile picture to like that Tokyo Ghoul sad boy thing, and I put up that video with Zero going, "What am I even fighting for?"
Yes. That was so good.
Gala Patia win, by the way. Sarah, if you're listening to this, please give me Gala Patia. I know you have no influence, but pull some strings.
Oh. You know what I really want? I want my lead pipe Rickard.
Yes, actually, and Sor had asked about that as well. It's funny that you had brought that up.
Oh.
Sor had mentioned if there was a request, or in the pipeline possibly, no pun intended, right? If there would be a lead pipe Rickard alt down the line, so...
That would truly make my day.
Yes. I think the other thing that was crazy is the pronunciation is Rickard, correct? For his name?
That's what I settled on, but even his voice actor, Brian Doe, he's like, I have no idea, and unfortunately,
That's
I
amazing.
never had to say it during my recording sessions. I was the same way with... I've settled on Joachim, but I've seen it pronounced dozens of ways, too.
Yes.
During my audition, I did it as Deven Mack auditioning for Joachim, because I've seen that also. So
yeah.
I don't know, but I like Rickard. He likes Rickard, and that's what we're rolling with. Because I think the name is derivative of Richard, so that's why. Which then kind of turns into Rick, and I think that's why it's Rickard. But he was saying it as Rickard for a while. But again, we don't know for sure.
Okay, because no, when that video dropped, right, with the pipe, lead pipe, Rickard, right, the whole subreddit was like, we've been saying it wrong, and they like panicked, And then I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been saying Ricard too. And I was just like, my whole life's a lie. What am I doing? And so, it was definitely an amusing day of everyone realizing the second pronunciation and if they had said it wrong or correct.
I'm amused by the fact that people think that just because we said it, that means that's what it is, because we don't know.
Yes, yeah.
But we like saying it that way.
Okay. I think that's a good enough of a reason for it to be the official name then.
I know that Joachim's name is pronounced Joachim is because Kirsty actually does say it in one of her voice lines.
She says it as Joachim or Joachim?
I don't know, guacamole.
I don't know,
because I would totally be down for calling him Guac from now on.
Yeah.
I'm totally down.
But
for that.
But no, if you go to just view her adventure and you do the art or 3D model and press the voice line button, I think one of them has her say his name.
Okay, I will definitely look into that. I have not checked that before.
That's awesome. I can only think of the one thing that I had thought of is when he was coming out on his banner, I saw his name and I looked at my friends and I said, guys, I don't know how to pronounce this. So we went to YouTube, right? And we typed in, Joachim pronunciation. And then they walked us through 8 different pronunciations based on country.
Holy shit.
And and there were 3 different pronunciations in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I was like, what do I do? And I'm like, I don't know. Guys, what do we do?
I personally call it Joachim.
Yeah, I think that's the Spain pronunciation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's any like South America or Latin America in general.
Because I know there was one where it was Joachim, was Southern American, and I was like, well,
oh, that's terrible.
Yes.
I hate it.
Wow.
I looked at it. I said, thanks. I hate
That's
it.
my name. My name's Joachim. Don't wear it out.
So yeah. And then I think more people were familiar with Joaquin Phoenix,
Yes,
the actor, right? So I think that's kind of where I had settled on it, but it definitely was one of the few iconic panics for name pronunciations. So kind of brings me back to the days when I was in the schoolyard and we were all trying to name or pronounce the Pokemon names. And
really,
everyone would have a different pronunciation for these Pokemon. So, like I think Chimico was like Chimico. Someone said,
oh wow,
right?
It's Chimeco.
But it is Chimeco, right? But the thing is, as a kid, right, you're putting the words together in these strings, and it creates an entirely new name.
I'm gonna kick their faces if they call it anything else.
For the longest time, just because I didn't pay enough attention, I used to think that Bulbasaur was Blubbasaur.
Oh my god!
And then I saw the
What?
anime, I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yes. Yeah.
And sounds a lot less mean.
That's oh my gosh, that's awesome. There was a recent survey that was done in regards to Pokemon and child knowledge, and I think it was in Europe that it was done, and they were stating that like more children knew more Pokemon than they knew of the native animals that were in the area.
That does not remotely surprise me.
And
Yeah.
I laughed because the top comments of that article was, well, yeah, native animals don't scream their names at you.
So here's the thing, right?
Very true.
As a biology student, I know more about Pokemon than animals.
Ah,
Native animals.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You guys heard it here first.
that's awesome.
So, yeah. I believe then that's all the questions we have today, Devin.
Okay.
Would you guys like to dive quickly into the news?
Sure.
We do have a
Sure.
few small things of news to look at. Let me pull it up here. So we do have, we have the Summon Showcase going on, right? Which is the Light-Attuned Summon Showcase. For those listening, because we are so close to the gala and these Light-Attuned showcases are non-limited, we can quickly state that they are definitely not worth summoning on. So the rates for Gala is just much better, and there may be a lot of free summons coming our way. So definitely save up, and of course the Gala unit for the anniversary will probably be light, if we have to guess. So definitely.
Watch it be Volk.
Oh my gosh,
that would be so sick.
Deven Mack has
Cool.
been bamboozling us this entire time.
Yes, telling us he's ready. So yeah, we do also have the this month in Dragalia Lost. A lot of information in here is things that we already know. But to reiterate, we do have the current event, Agents of the Goddess, that is currently live, as well as the new theme song, which is Checkmate, which was created by Weekend Walker. Definitely a really good song. I know we had touched base on it last week. There's been a lot of very, very good songs that Cygames has been commissioning and theming with the events. So big props to the artists for putting those together. Speaking of the event, have you guys gotten a chance to read through the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I definitely need to.
It is really good, Devin. It's really, really good. So, the one of the characters, Nevin, also known as Papa Bear, he's very amusing and very likable. So, whenever you do get the chance, definitely take a look. Yes.
I don't like that he calls himself Papa Bear.
Really?
I don't know.
I think it adds
He's
a little
not
bit
even
of
a
flavor
bear,
to it.
like he's a twink.
Yeah.
He's a twink.
Yeah.
He's not a bear.
Hey, you
Come
know,
on.
he is a beautiful man.
Like,
He's a,
if it
he
was
is a-
rain, I'd be okay with that.
if he's a twunk at most.
Yeah.
I think I did catch that part where he introduced himself that way. What I did, because I was lazy, and when I started playing through it, it was close to reset. So I was like, oh, I gotta skip through everything. I gotta go through all the quests. And then I
Right, yeah.
haven't gone back and looked at it again, which I definitely need to do.
Right. That does bring up a good point, though, because there have been a few events that we have had in the past that the story was not tied to event progression. I really, really like those versions of the events better because they allow the player to not have to feel like that. Because I have
Right.
definitely felt like that a few times myself. And then once you've skipped through the story, it kind of lessens the desire to want to go back. Unless someone is like actively telling you, no, you have to, you gotta, you have to. It's really, really good. Like for example, on our summer event, they released each story at each reset.
Yeah,
so of
that was
course,
so cool.
That was a great way to do it.
Oh yeah, that really got me into it.
Like,
I'm
yes.
so glad they did that.
Yeah, and like it was each day was a new day on the story too, so like it was perfect.
Yeah. It was definitely a cool way to do it. And then, of course, on our defense battles, all the stories are purchasable through the event currency that they have. They have these War Chronicles. So as you go through the event, you can get a War Chronicle, and then at your leisure, you can go through and read the stories. That's also, I think, a really good way to do the event story as well. But I won't speak too much about the Agents of the Goddess stories. I definitely don't want to spoil anything for you, Devin. But I did like the one line that Nevin had mentioned. We have a statue of Ilya in the Halidom for the event facility. And
I remember
so-
him saying, "I'll make sure she's hot."
Yes. My question before reset was, is that a canonical picture of what Ilya looks like? Because we don't have one at this current time. And so as soon as I got to that voice line, I was like, no! They're teasing us again. So
Oh, what's the voice line?
he says, I'll make sure that she's hot.
Oh,
And
oh,
then,
wait. That's
yeah. And then I think Pinon says something like further blasphemy or something like that, and like retorts it.
Oh.
So
that's actually a voiced line, or is that just in the story?
I think it's just in the story.
it's
Okay.
voiced in JP, I believe.
Oh, right.
But that's the English translation that they have. Yeah,
Okay.
in the text.
Okay.
So
For a second, I was very confused. I was like, does he have a line in game where he's like, "Oh man, Ilya's statue's so hot, and it looks just like her"?
Yeah, no, I don't think they. It's possible that he might, for like a voice line that he might have while walking around on the grounds. I don't remember if those are fully voiced in English. I'd have to double check, but that is further research for us to check on. Additionally, we have, of course, Tartarus's Wrath, as we had mentioned, and Thor, which has definitely changed the game on Tartarus's Wrath. So that definitely helps out. I think it has brought Light to being the fastest clear now. It's Elisan, Marth, and 2 Galalukas are the fastest clear. I think they're doing around 50 seconds. So it finally eclipsed what was the Shadow run that people had shown.
I mean, people have been doing 2 Galax, a Hawk, and now it's like either Elisan or Patia. For a while now. That's like a pub. That's actually like a legit pub meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid one as well.
I got a minute clear with that comp.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got like a minute and a half with Patia clears.
Yeah,
people like in main core have been complaining about like, oh man, a lot of time Patia pubs don't kill phase 1 before the first portal. I'm like, what kind of pubs are you running into? That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting better times on Patia pubs than the 9 pubs.
Right. Yeah, it definitely just depends. I mean, in the Shadow Cheese, you have the desire, right? You can't get hit, as he does have the debuff that lowers how much damage you will deal, as well as there has to be a poison setter. So those are the 2 things that are required. I was thinking of doing like a speed guide on putting it together. You know, a quick 5-minute tutorial essentially.
I'd be down for
doing that. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and it can be pubbed. So if you're looking to farm quite a few items quickly, right, weapons quickly, as the Light playstyle, those weapons are so fun to play with. They're so fun to play. But yeah, and of course we also have the, I don't know if you guys have seen Lucretia in action, but Lucretia, Luca, and Estelle have also gotten spirals, which have been, well actually the first 2, Luca and Lucretia, have been impactful in Tartarus's Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
So Estelle, she definitely is very solid. I would say she's a budget Hildegard. But of course healers don't have too much of an impact on this meta for Tartarus, as you do have the healing from Dragon Shapeshift, as well as if anyone brings Cupid. But Lucretia, very, very good mods. They're like 1800 for her S1, as well.
Pretty sure they got straight up doubled.
Yes, yeah. It went from 900 to 1800. And then all of her energy stacks increased by 1. So a simple S1, S2 makes her fully energized. So, very good, strong character, as well as Luca's mods also were just completely doubled as well. And he got dual res now. So,
oh, nice!
Yeah, he has potent curse res, and then he has poison res as well, which makes Luca probably, I would say, the best unit to bring if you are, you know, him or Gala-Yuden, right, as the 2 probably most pub-friendly units, since they can fill either slot in how important it is to have 2 poison and 2 curse res units in this fight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The other details that they have mentioned are a defensive event being held in mid-September. This is pretty standard for us to expect in the rotation, but apparently a certain pair will play a big role, and the story will focus on the secrets of their origins. So, do you gentlemen have any idea who those might be? I'm trying to think myself. The only other character that I might be able to think of...
I knew I wouldn't say.
Oh no, that's true. Yes, speculation. Yeah, it would be.
Deven Mack is commenting now, so now it's Kirsty and Joachim. I'm gonna say that.
That's so funny. Yeah, no. If I had to guess, I would say it would be Laxi and Mascula, but
that would be cool
because they didn't really talk about the creator for them, the master,
the maestro
in too much detail.
Yeah.
But
I know some people are talking about Leif and Hall.
Oh well,
Oh, that could be cool.
that could be
Lucas
interesting.
would be
Yeah.
really happy.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. That being said, we also have the Fractured Futures raid event, which will be held in late September as a revival. So for anyone who didn't get Audric, chances to get Audric here, as well as I am fingers crossed, guys, for an Audric Spiral. So really would like that. I think that would be super awesome. But that would be our chance to get one, as well as I think, yes, an interlude for Chapter 15 for late September. Master difficulty for Ciela as well in early October, and the anniversary will be celebrated on September 27th. And I believe they're saying the new event will be directly related to the main campaign. It will be after the recently added Chapter 15. So that gives people about a month to catch up to the main story, and then they will have an all-new raid boss and an all-new story that will be after the events of Chapter 15.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah. Things to look forward to is basically the anniversary. They have a large-scale adjustment to balancing for adventures, weapons, and dragons. They do make a comment about Shadow-Attuned adventures being too strong, as we had mentioned earlier, but there's not much more detail on that. So we will have to wait and see. And then, of course, Okada always ends it by gifting us 3 summon vouchers, 5 blessed Ethan Ashes, and 10 quality honey. So, more ways for us to play.
Thank you, Daddy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Lost. Blessed.
Thank you, Mr. Haas.
So, yes. Yeah, and that being said, the only other thing is a player feedback directly from Yuji Okada. So in here, they kind of reiterate the same things as what was stated in the this month. So we have comments about some 5-star adventurers being outclassed by 4-star adventurers, to which Okada responds with, some players are very creative and it's difficult, to deal with that, right? If you, like, Karina comes to mind as Karina, 4 Karinas, using Patia shared skill and things like that are very, very strong. He references Shadow-Attuned adventures again, getting the rebalance. And another one that's interesting that we had mentioned too was they talked about in the Doomsday Raid event, players were unaware of the bear mechanic. So, for those that are unaware, in that event, the original lead character that you started with would immediately turn into a bear, and you wouldn't be able to use them for pretty much the remainder of the quest. I know at certain points it would switch, but it wasn't detailed in the boss fight initially. So Okada had mentioned that they would do better to note more features, unique features about each boss fight. So, yeah, I think that covers it for this month. And then, of course, it's more mentions and more hype for the 2nd anniversary. So, yeah. Would you guys like to head into our themed art section for today?
Ooh, yes.
We have actually a few different pieces, and they are all themed for Deven. So we will start with our first piece from Kash, and it is Durant. So this piece again is from Kash over on Twitter. So this was done actually by them earlier today for you, specifically for the podcast.
Oh, cool.
And
thank you, Kash.
They said best regards as well for it. So they're very awesome. They're in our Discord as well. So
best dog boy.
Yes.
I love it.
And let's take a look here as well. We have a Volk drawing from our artist as well in the Discord, Frey. And I really, really like I know we said this off stream, but I really like the coloration and the shading on this
Oh
one.
my goodness, yes.
Yes, and we have, of course,
So
as we had
dang.
mentioned, Eat the Rich. So, yes, definitely a really, really awesome piece. Probably one of my favorites that they've done of Volk, and they've done quite a lot of Volk pieces, and all of them are phenomenal. They're all phenomenal. So, for those listening as well, if you'd like to see more of Frey's pieces as well, they are exclusively actually on the Discord. So, link will be in the description for them. If you do see the piece, come join the Discord and go share it. Send them some love. You know, it'll be in our hashtag DLArt Safe for Work, as well as our Art Safe for Work pages where these are being posted. So
Even that
definitely
look
come
in
to-
his eyes, I love it so much.
Yes, you see the
He's
desire.
so sympathetic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and the mask
He's
is
not-
done really well too.
Mm-hmm.
The
See,
mask
he
is
is
great.
not. See, he is a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. You know?
I know.
No.
Devin knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have, I believe, another piece as well that was done. And this is back to Durant. So we have a phenomenal piece. This is also by Frey over in the Discord. So we have Durant in his wolf or doggy onesie.
In his
He is-
natural state.
Yes, and he is unamused with the sparkles.
He's only unamused because he's been seen.
Yes. So again, yes,
Oh,
it's a great piece. We definitely
love
were
it.
very ecstatic when it came to be. And I think, yes, we have a sketch as well that was done. And this is, of course, Volk in his Agito form, his Phase 2 form.
he's a
Man.
big boy.
Yes, and then, of course, our artist Frey drowning in the fluffy tail, being plagued.
But it's a cute death.
Yes,
Can't wait to die.
yes. Definitely wonderful. And we have another Durant, actually, by Venus.
Oh, so cool.
So this one is, I really like this one a lot. I like the background coloration as well. Yeah, this is a phenomenal piece.
Oh, I love that intense look.
It's like he's going to take a bite out of the viewer. So, definitely pretty awesome. And then for this, it is at Norvrandits, at Norvrandts. And then we'll have a link in the description for all the pieces, as well as for Kash, which is on Twitter as well. So if you liked any of these pieces, definitely for the ones that are on the Discord, come join the Discord to show some love. And for the ones on Twitter, go ahead and follow those artists, retweet and share, and send them love as well. So, yeah.
You deserve all the love. Y'all are so cool.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much, Devin. I know they will be ecstatic to hear your appreciation. And also, thank you so much for coming on the podcast with us today.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you for having me. This was a ton of fun, and even those moments where you're just talking about the updates and these details about the game, I am learning so much. Like, I feel like I'm in the middle of a Dragalia digest, just hearing
Oh
all
my
this
God.
all this stuff that's like seeing this enthusiasm. Like, I really, really love it, and just happy to be a part of it.
Oh, well, yes. Well, thank you so much. Guys, again, please support Devin, as he has been a wonderful asset to our community. We'll have a link
Aw.
to his Twitter and to his YouTube, where you can view all of his work, not just Dragalia related, but of course all of his work that we had talked about, things like Total Drama Island and other pieces. And of course, for Tome, guys, please, if you haven't seen any of Tome, you have to go see it. I implore. It is a demand.
It's me
I'm
being
not
a
asking.
very, very silly raccoon man.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So, again, links will be all in the description for that as well. And LERART and Glace, again, gentlemen, thank you for co-hosting with me, and Glace for being the co-host. Definitely appreciate both of you guys. We'll have links for their Twitter in the description below as well. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please drop a comment below, share your love, as well as like the video, and please subscribe if you have not. Yes.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yes, and follow LERART a second time on Twitter. But remember,
It boosts my self-esteem and
You heard it
boosts
here.
my ego and self-esteem.
yes, and please,
All the followers for LERART, please.
please tweet at LERART as well to motivate him to become the next DL voice actor. It is
You
time.
never know.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Boy, I want to be in Dragalia Lost too. I'll have an entire adventurous story about trying to win over Patia's heart. Yes. Ooh, that's a really great idea.
Yes. That's awesome.
But
Thank
yes,
you so
follow
much
me
again.
too. Save some followers from me. Okay?
Yes, and follow
yes.
Glace, absolutely.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Glace helped me get Mo in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah.
My absolute favorite that I haven't seen in like 13 years. I
that's
almost
actually
cried.
Yeah, that's actually how we met. I meant to mention
Yes.
this earlier, but no, like it was just we were having a casual talk in like main chord because Deven Mack was just popping in because he's awesome. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember he plays Animal Crossing. I'm like, yo, I can get you any villager you want, and he was just astounded. I'm like, yeah, I just got a Mo, and I think I gave you like 1 or 2 million bells,
Yes,
something like that.
just like that.
Can you get
Yeah. What, Laura?
That was so kind of you. I'm very grateful.
Oh, there's no trouble. And if any other of the Dragalia Lost actors are listening to this, the same offer extends to you. If you also play Animal Crossing, I will give you
Oh, yes.
one villager of your choice. Yeah, that's basically it.
Can
I
you,
will-
can you get me Apollo? I'm a future, maybe future voice actor.
We can discuss that in the future.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it here first. Glace's offer stands for Animal Crossing. And again, guys, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And thank you if you guys have made it this far in the podcast. We 100% appreciate you.
You
And,
rock.
We will see you guys next week. Hey guys, it's me, Orthodox. I hope you all enjoyed that video. I'd like to take this moment to thank my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to make such amazing content. And a super special thank you to my patron Lucas for becoming a Baby Brunhilde's bestie. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your support. And if you haven't, consider supporting me on Patreon. A little bit goes a long way. We've even got a special membership lounge and VC for supporters of the channel. Thanks so much, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.